Hey, knife expert here, and I just wanted to go over some of my EDC knives, the blades that I have with me every day. I typically have 4 of them with me, 2 in my pocket, 2 in my EDC bag, so I'll go through them one at a time. This here looks like a money clip. It is a money clip. It's the Gerber EAB Lite. EAB being exchange blade, and of course you can keep some bills in there. Should always have some cash on you. Has a nice little utility knife blade in here from Box Cutters. Pretty sturdy blade, sharp enough. It does some cutting, and the great thing about using these when you have something that's got some glue or tape or something that'll leave some residue on your blade, rather than using one of your nice blades, you use one of these, and if it gets all gunked up, you just take out that screw, replace the blade. Get about 5 of these for a couple of dollars, and you just replace it. So that is the Gerber EAB Lite. That is always in my pocket. The other one that's always in my pocket is my pocket folder from SOG, the SOG Flash II. I have the black titanium nitride tanto partially serrated version. So you'll see the assisted opening is very smooth on this. It works. It keeps the blade closed. Actually, you can use a safety for that as well. And the problem with the assisted opening, you can't. It's really hard to do a flick open. So use the thumb stud. Works great. I have the tanto blade. Of course, I won't be using this as a survival knife to go into the bush and skin an animal. But the tanto, I find it's great for, well, what do we end up using an EDC pocket folder for? We end up opening packages, we end up opening boxes, we end up slicing things. I like the precision. You know right where the edge of the knife is, and you can always, you know how deep your tip is. So I like using it for that, and that's what most of the use actually is from an EDC folder. Of course, you could go to it for a defense roll if you had to. The glass reinforced nylon handle is great. It's strong, it's light, very comfortable to hold. The jibbing on the top, pretty much non-existent. I really don't care. It, you know, the handle itself is sticky enough. The lock, there's a piston lock, but it has this cam release lever. It's almost on a cam motion. I like it. I've tried many ways of knocking it closed, trying to close it on my hand, and it just won't go. It's a very strong, very robust lock. I also like the very deep pocket clip. This sits really deep in my pocket. No risk at all of it falling out. And if discretion is what you are looking for, well, this is as discreet as they get. All there is a little clip sticking out. Any pro will know what you have, but most people will just see a little clip and not even think twice about it. I'm a fan. I highly recommend it. The AUS-8 steel is fine, and I will be doing a very detailed review of this and other SOG Flash II models later. Those two I keep in my pocket. Now, in my EDC bag, which currently is a 511 Tactical Rush Moab 10, I have a perfect pocket right next to my tactical flashlight, my Phoenix PD32. I keep this Gerber Flik. Now, it's a multi-tool. It does multiple things. It does almost anything you need it to, but never as well as the original tools. So, of course, we have the needle nose pliers, wire cutter, side cutter, nippers. We have a serrated blade, scissors. These all work fairly well. We have a couple of screwdriver blades here, bottle opener, whatever you need it to do. On this side we have a saw blade, a knife blade, and another screwdriver, Phillips screwdriver, and another can opener, bottle opener attachment. This works well. Gerber, SOG, and Leatherman all make very fine multi-tools, and the key is to just look at the features and pick the one that's best for you. I like to make sure I always have one in a hiking bag and in my EDC bag. And we have the original K-bar. Well, it's almost original. I opted for the Kydex sheath and the synthetic handle. If I was heading out into the bush for weeks at a time or for a survival situation and I was only to have one knife, this probably wouldn't be it. But there's just something iconic about having a K-bar, and if you can't decide on the perfect survival knife for you, pick up a K-bar. You will never regret it. There's just some history there. It's iconic and it's a very useful knife. If you're a collector, go ahead, get the leather handle and the leather sheath. Just remember that there is a lot more maintenance and upkeep that is required on those. I got the drop point, the black titanium nitride coated, partially serrated. This goes in my EDC bag, and then when I go hiking, it's always close at hand. It's just so useful. It's kind of like a multi-tool. It'll do everything, but maybe not as well as a dedicated blade. It's not the best bushcraft and survival knife. There are more expensive ones than that. This will always work in a defensive role, in a bushcraft and camp role, hiking role, cutting things, chopping wood, whatever you needed to. May not be the best wood chopper. The serrations may not survive a lot of wood chopping. It's a great blade, and everybody needs one in their knife rotation. The steel on this takes a very nice edge, and again, if you are having troubles deciding on a knife, then go with a K-bar until you find something else that you really want. I keep this tucked into my EDC bag. I'm looking at a few other models that I will keep in my EDC and my hiking bag, so if that's the case, then this will get a permanent position in maybe a trunk emergency get home bag or a grab and go bug out bag at home. It will always be somewhere that I can use it because I'm just a big fan. The original USMC fighting and utility knife is, it's just iconic, made in the USA. I like this knife. So there we have it, my EDC knife lineup. I'll mix and match those as I have different interests, and different knives interest me, but that's typically the type of lineup that I have with me, 2 in my pocket and 2 in my EDC bag. I hope that you found this little review useful. I'd really like to hear what you carry with you every day in your pocket or in your bag, and look forward to having more reviews from me on the various knives that I have.